Well, at least Daniel Radcliffe's clearly having a lot of fun. Yeah, like I said, it wasn't great. I'm working with what I got, just like this movie. Anyway, so yeah, this is the Lost City, which is the latest Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum rom com adventure movie. Blah 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 blah.
Team Build is the funniest movie you'll see all year.
Which is bullshit because everything everywhere is still in theaters right now. So fuck you. Um,
No spoilers. It hasn't made it down here yet.
I wouldn't dare tell you anything even if I could.
Thank you.
Granted, I was talking to my therapist about it. I was like, I wouldn't even know where to begin to describe this to you. But anyway, so yeah, Lost City is a bit of a downgrade compared to that. For what is a fairly average like rom-com adventure film. Like it's a kind of like mumblecore like rom-com role that Sandra Bullock can do in her sleep, you know.
It's kind of her bread and butter. She has shown that she can do more varied and nuanced performances in other genres. But this is kind of her go-to.
But sometimes you just need a paycheck, and that's kind of what this feels like. It's everyone just cashing a check, and it's not like God knows it's not even bad. It's just mediocre. Like there's some stuff I like about it, like her and Channing Tatum. Channing Tatum, God bless him, is always trying no matter what he's in. So like he's enjoyable. Some
Even if he is, his character is kind of a sweet dumbass.
Yeah, and then, like, but like if we're talking about types here, I feel like that's Channing Tatum's bread and butter right there. Except usually he's given better writing, but so for like what the material that's there, like they make it work the best they can. Like I said, Sandra Bullock kind of feels like she's sleepwalking through this, but there's a few like genuine moments of like, okay, that's like there's some legitimate like good connection there now and again. Okay, interesting enough. I like what they had to say about like, hey, don't call it schlock. Like if people like it, like I appreciated that. So like stuff like that is nice.
Yes, I did appreciate the use of a Yiddish term.
Yeah. I mean, it's the term I used to, but it's fun. It's fun to say. But I think that if there's one like weirdly glorious spot in this that I wasn't expecting, it would be Daniel Radcliffe, who's the only one that feels like he's really trying.
He's having fun hamming it up.
He is chewing so much scenery, and he is the only one that gives a damn about any of this. And he's having a blast. Like every time he's on screen, I was instantly captivated. I'm just like, God damn it, I'm like fucking Daniel Radcliffe.
If I had a shall we say, more amiable viewing experience, I would have been able to enjoy him being on screen more instead of younger people saying, "Oh, it's Harry
Potter." Fucking assholes. It's kind of like it's kind of like that experience I had when I saw fucking Bohemian Rhapsody, where I had one older gentleman basically threaten me because God forbid I didn't want him singing along with the fucking music. Yeah, it was a fun day. So I'm sorry you had that experience. I know how much that sucks.
Thank you. You just saw this. I saw this on Tuesday. I'm glad that I got the discount price for it because
it's not worth full price. This is the matinee.
Exactly.
At best.
So my main takeaway from this, apart it being very run-of-the-mill mediocre, is there are some parallels to a movie that I'm rather fond of. You've never seen it before. It was directed by Robert Zemeckis back in the 80s, and has a lot of similarities to this in some ways. Romancing the Stone is a rom-com or adventure rom-com about a romance novelist who has to go to an exotic location where the locals speak Spanish, looking for some treasure. She finds romance along the way. Sound familiar?
I mean, that can describe so many fucking treasure hunting movies over the last preceding decades.
Uh, just it had many parallel beats. So I just kind of thought, oh, this is the 21st century romancing the stone, just with a bit more modernized.
Yeah, which is like, okay, fine, whatever. Like, this movie's gonna find its audience. It feels like just one of those. It's a safe bet. It's a safe investment. Like, no matter how like critically this movie's received, it's probably gonna make its money back. It's one of those safe like Hollywood investments you feel like they pump out every now and again just to balance the checkbooks. You know.
Yeah. I could have done without Sandra Bullock's jumpsuit. Even she has said in interviews it was probably her least favorite part of filming this was having
I can't imagine why. Yeah.
wear that costume. And you can just tell she, as a performer and character, are not enjoying being in that glittery onesie.
No, there's yeah, I have nothing to add to that. I was trying to think of something clever or insightful to say. I was like, no, yeah, it looks uncomfortable. That's basically what it boils down to.
Uncomfortable, impractical.
And more than a little, definitely a producer note, almost kind of. It's like, can we sex this up a little bit?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, that's fair. Like I said, most of the reason I got any enjoyment out of this because like every now and again the dynamic that Channing Tatum and Sandra Bullock have to give me a chuckle out of me, and again I just love Daniel Radcliffe in general, mostly because like no matter how garbage the project is, if I hear he's in it, I'm gonna be at least a little curious. It's kind of like Elijah Wood, where it's like, okay, if they talked him into doing this, I'm curious as to why. Because like both those actors like made the more money than they'll ever need like right away in life, and
child actors.
Yep, and just been just making whatever they want since. And every time I hear they're in something, I'm like, ooh, let's see where this goes. Like Gun Akimbo or Swiss Army Man or anything else like Dan Radcliffe does sporadically. I think the only one I didn't see that he was in recently was like Now You See Me Too.
I didn't know that he was in that.
Even from the trailer I saw, I could tell he's like the only one having a really good time. So you can tell he's just someone who just really likes to make this shit. So I kind of have a lot of respect for him for that. And I guess he's playing Weird Al now, so that's gonna be fun to see.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard about that. But...
I did. It's a script that has Weird Al's blessing, and it's not going to go for an overly factual biopic.
Oh no, God no, it's Weird Al. Yeah. But no, because I always like this is me kind of also padding out this video because I don't have a whole lot more to say about the movie.
Me neither. I mean, we could go through the plot, but there's not really too much to tell. Romance novelist gets thrown into an exotic location, goes on a treasure hunt. Channing Tatum and Brad Pitt try to rescue her. There are some sweet intimate moments between Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum along the way.
They fall in love. They go through a hijinks adventure. They eventually fight up against a bad guy who, towards the end, I'm like, why not just let him have it? Mm-hmm. Like the whole treasure. Like that was the one part that was kind of weird to me. It's like, you know, I get that he's like a rich douchebag, but there's also not a lot of reason just to not let him have it.
Well, that is one big spoiler.
Well, I mean, yeah, I know where it goes. My point is up to that point, where it's also just like,
yeah,
there's really not a lot of reason not to work with him until now, really. I don't know, that's just my opinion personally. Like, I get the whole Indiana Jones, it belongs in a museum kind of vibe, but it's like, yeah, but those are also run by rich people, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, the point I was trying to make earlier is there's this great little interview snippet with Sandra Bullock and Daniel Radcliffe playing this movie. And they're just like, so they ask him, like, what's your favorite thing you've gotten off a movie recently? And Sandra Bullock had this very heartfelt, it's like, oh, you know, just the memories and all of these things. And Daniel Radcliffe's like, that's way better than my answer. I was going to say something physical. Then he was like, "Wait, what was yours?" It's like, "Well, I was working a Weird Al movie recently. And he gave me an accordion. He was like, "You got a Weird Al accordion? Fuck, that's way better than mine." All right.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So those made me laugh. But yeah, this is one of those movies. Like it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's not supposed to. This is a movie you go in there with heavy expectations, or like, ooh, I wonder if this is gonna break the boundary in any way. No, of course it fucking doesn't. Like I said, this is as safe as a movie investment gets in the modern day.
There are a few innuendo jokes for adults. The audience members I alluded to earlier kind of ruined those for me.
Yeah, I get. Yeah,
because they were making obnoxious noises during those jokes.
Well, of course they are, because they're dumb and stupid. And that is what you would call the target audience.
Yes.
For those dumb jokes, they're like, "Oh, the lost city of D. You mean Dick?"
Yeah. So, if it was a quieter audience that I happen to be in, I probably would have gotten a chuckle out of those innuendo jokes because I'm a little bit of a pervert.
Hey, you know what? You're in good company here. There's no judgment among pervs. All right.
But yeah, it's just kind of generic.
Yeah, like I said, there's really not a whole lot to say about it. It is what it is. If you like it, cool, good for you. Like I said, I got some stuff I enjoyed out of it. But the only thing that really stands out to me, something that's really worth even possibly watching this, is mostly Daniel Radcliffe. Because yeah. But other than that, it's fine. It's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It just exists. It's okay.
I'm probably going to forget about it as soon as I see everything everywhere all at once.
Yeah, and that's a pretty good reason to forget all about it. So, yeah, you got anything else to fucking add to this? I got nothing.
Not really. Like I warned you, I didn't have too much to say. I didn't really have a good theater experience in my showing. It reminded me of an older movie that I liked more. It's average.
Yeah. So take that for what it's worth. Short review. Don't have much to say. Can only pad this out for so long. So trying to think of what else. I know The Bubble just came out on HBO, which is like the new Judd Apatow movie.
I don't have HBO. My boyfriend does.
That's all right. I mean, I'm sure I'll wrap some in and watch it. And then, of course, Morbius is out. I
have not been hearing good things. So I actually know who the character of Morbius is, at least a little, because of the 90s Saturday morning Spider-Man cartoon.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That I watched on Fox.
Yes. It's
but I do like comic book movies, and I do try to stay up to it, but I think I'm gonna let this one pass me by.
Don't watch it. Like, I can already tell. Like, don't support this cynical cash grab of a movie. I'm only reviewing it because I have to. Like, otherwise, like, I don't want to give Sony my money. I'm kind of doing it reluctant. Even then, they're not even getting my money. I'm getting on A-list. So, it's just this cynical corporate cash grab that Sony's trying to do to try to milk the Spidey franchise outside the MCU. That's all this is.
Honestly, they should have just focused more on the Spider-Verse franchise, because I'll gladly give them my money for that sequel that is either coming out later this year or next. But
yeah, the difference is, sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
The across the
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but I'm really excited for that. That's a Sony Spider product.
Yes, but it's a different department with people that actually know what the fuck they're doing.
Yes, which is why I'm excited to see that, and why I am not going to see Morbius.
Yeah, because fuck Jared Leto.
I really liked him in Dallas Buyers Club.
Yeah, but he's a shitty person. Although there is this hilarious video of him getting interviewed by a VTuber. I don't know if you know what those are. It's like animated avatars that they figure out how to like motion capture with like streamers and shit. So it's like little anime kitty girls, like streaming video games, and the man just looks so confused the entire time. he is being interviewed by like this weird anime kitty girl, and he just looks like he just has no idea how to process the situation.
Okay, that sounds more amusing than his latest comic book movie.
Probably it's gonna suck, and I already know what this post credit standard is, and it just makes absolutely no fucking sense. So it's gonna be a train wreck. So we'll watch that later this week. Other than that, I think that's all we got. So thank y'all for watching. See y'all later.